All right, now in our playlists view model, in select playlist method, look at this last line. I want to bring this in our code. So with this implementation, when the user selects a playlist, we navigate them to playlist detail page to see more details about this playlist. Now there's a problem here. We do not have a property in our view model called navigation. This is a member of the page class in Xamarin. Or as another example, imagine we had a call to display alert. Again, this method does not exist in our view model. It's a member of the page class. So how are we going to bring this into our view model? The solution is to use an interface. It's easier to show you than explain it. So let's get started. First, in the solution, in view models folder, I'm going to add a new interface and call this iPage service. So iPage service. This is an abstraction or contract that represents the services that a page can provide. In our view model, we're going to work with this interface. We don't know what is behind this interface. We don't know what class has implemented that. And this allows us to decouple ourselves from Xamarin. Now, if you're confused, you really need to watch my C# intermediate course because there I have a complete section about interfaces. So for this demo, I'm going to add a couple of methods here. One is task, push, async. This is for our navigation, which takes a page class like this. Let's resolve the namespaces. Okay, beautiful. And as another example, we can have task of bool. Call this method display alert, which takes 4 parameters: title, message, OK, and cancel. This is exactly the signature of display alert method in the page class. Now, back in our solution, we're going to implement this interface. So in the view models folder, add a new class, call it page service. We implement iPage service. Now here we need a reference to a page class so we can call the display alert method. How do we do that? It's very easy. We use the application class dot current dot main page. This is the property that we set in the app class. Remember? Let's have a quick look. This is the main page property I'm talking about. Okay? Now, back to our implementation. This main page has this display alert method. And we can simply pass these arguments: title, message, OK, cancel, and return the value. Now, this is an async method. We need to await this. And we should also mark this as async. Implementation of push async is exactly the same. So application.current.mainPage.navigation.push async. As simple as that. Now we await this and simply mark this as async. That's it. Of course, we can make this code a little bit cleaner. For example, we can extract a property called mainPage, so we don't have to type application.current.mainPage in every method. Now, back in our view model. Here we need a reference to this iPage service. So I'm going to add a constructor here and pass iPage service as a parameter. Now here we need a private field, private read-only iPage service, call it underline page service. And we simply initialize this in the constructor, like this. Now with this interface, we can replace navigation with page service.push async. As simple as that. Now we have a red underline, and that's because of await. So we need to change this to async task. Let's bring in the namespace. Beautiful. There is one more problem here, and that's the argument to playlist detail page. Because if you look at this class, it requires a playlist object. But the object we were giving it in our view model was playlist view model. So I'm going to modify this to accept a playlist view model. And the last step, back in the code behind for our playlists page. This is where we initialize our view model. Now here we need to pass a new page service. So this is how we wire everything together. Now in an enterprise application, we often use a dependency injection framework. So we don't have to manually pass these objects here. But dependency injection framework is beyond the scope of this course. So we want to keep things simple for now. So this is all about dealing with dependencies of Xamarin. But if you look at our code behind, we have these ugly event handler methods that do nothing but delegate to view model. And I told you that we're going to get rid of these methods. And that's what I'm going to show you in the next lecture.